Bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue à Paris. My name is Stew and I'm an old friend of Hawksley's from Canada. We've worked together on a number of records, including Meat and Milk. These days, I live in Paris with my family. Let's go take a look around. This is my neighborhood. It's called the Etoile. It's in the 16th arrondissement. The 20 arrondissements are the numbered districts that make up the city. Each one's got its own distinct character. The 16th is known for being a bit quieter, a little more residential, and if you ask some Parisians, they might even find it a little boring. Some famous residents of the 16th, past and present, include Benjamin Franklin and Rihanna. That's right, Rihanna lives here. So who's the boring one now, 11th arrondissement? Who is boring now?
In addition to the typical Haussmann-style buildings that make Paris look like Paris, the 16th also has some great Art Nouveau architecture. Much of it is the work of Hector Guimard, an architect from Lyon, best known for designing the iconic Paris metro stops.
This is my local marché. It comes 3 days a week and it's right on my street. There's over 100 vendors that set up, so you can do all your grocery shopping here. And while you're at it, you can also check out some antiques. You can pick up a bouquet of flowers. You could even get a chair reupholstered. Paris has layers of history. Behind me is a 3,000-year-old Egyptian obelisk, and it's standing on Place de la Concorde, the large public square where Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI were beheaded following the French Revolution.
From here, it's just a short walk through the Tuileries garden to get to one of Paris's most important sites.
Depending on who you ask, the Louvre is the greatest museum in the world, or second only to l'Ermitage. We can't settle that today though, because it's unfortunately closed due to the pandemic.
Over here in the cool part of town, we find La Place de la Bastille. This is where the French Revolution is considered to have really started. The fortified prison that was once here is long gone. It's been replaced by the more modern of Paris's two opera houses. There's one of the city's best open-air markets, and charming streets that are filled with great bars and restaurants. There's also some more recent history around here too. Let's go see if we can find it.
Alright, let's see. Not that one. No. That's not it either. Ah, here we go. This is number 16, Rue de Charonne, the former home of Hawksley workmen. Thought they'd have one of those famous person lived here signs. It seems to have been stolen by a fan. Let's take a look inside. This seems to be a pretty typical Parisian apartment building. The central courtyard at the back. It's my understanding that upstairs in one of these apartments is where he wrote the Almost a Full Moon record.
Everywhere that you look in Paris, you'll find a boulangerie. That's because there are around 30,000 of them. This one is my neighborhood favorite. It's still pretty new, but they've already won several awards, including having one of the best baguettes in Paris. And you can imagine just how good a baguette needs to be to win a baguette award in Paris, France.
This is the 20th time the tower's been repainted like this, which requires removing every centimeter of the old paint first. The three sections of the tower actually get painted three slightly different shades, which creates the optical illusion of a perfectly consistent color. Check out that scaffold. This is a Wallace fountain, named for its designer. They were installed around 140 years ago, and there's quite a few of them left. This one stands in front of Shakespeare and Company, which is Paris's most well-known English bookstore. Just across the street is this very rough-looking 400-year-old acacia tree that I like to visit, in a park that overlooks the Notre Dame Cathedral, which is currently being restored after the fire of 2019.
The original New York version of the statue was a gift from France in 1886, and 3 years later, the Americans returned 25% of the favor with this one-quarter-sized Lady Liberty. It's installed on l'Île de Seine, which means Swan Island. It's a small island with a nice park, but no swans as far as I can tell. And it's not far from Paris's most iconic landmark. There's also this even smaller version in the Luxembourg Gardens. Getting around Paris is pretty easy. The city itself is actually not that big. It has one of the world's best metro systems, and it's also an easy and very fun place to bike. There's bike lanes everywhere now, and you're never far from a rental bike or one of these scooters, which are called trottinettes. There's even bike lanes on Champs-Élysées. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks to Hawksley for having me, and thanks to everyone for following me around. If you want to know more about what I'm up to, check out my website or my Instagram. And if you've never been to Paris, you should plan a trip. It's truly one of the world's great cities. À bientôt!